Is we don't really need to use the mouse that much right
Yes,
now.
that is good news. And we are live. So I am
Woo!
Sandy.
I'm Chloe, and this is WordStitch.
Stitch, your Monday afternoon virtual write-in.
You are super pepped up right now. Sorry, that was me. If you heard the thing going over itself. Yeah, welcome everybody. We are in our second week of Nano now, of Camp Nano. Sandy isn't doing it, but I am. And we didn't have our usual chat. We got sidetracked by the stupidity in my own life. But Sandy, what have you been writing, or have you been taking the month off? I'm okay with either answer because we are in end times.
Yeah, no, I did really seriously have to like redo my calendar so that it was no longer a huge list. It now says like I've got one story and I've got one checkbox, and the checkbox is draft, not like finish, just
Right.
draft. Yeah, and I was not productive over the weekend, but then today, I don't know, at like 11 or something, I sat, maybe earlier, maybe 10, I like sat down at my computer and like opened up a chapter, and I was like excited to start. So I've been writing all day, like in a productive way. I might actually get work done today. I know. What about you?
My productivity has not been great. Okay. I say that also acknowledging the fact that I've written, I think, 28,000 words this month. But the past couple of days have been rough. We are definitely in that like critical mass of the household, and like my more social butterfly roommates are feeling the sting and have to bring me down with them. And also, as I mentioned, we had a bit of a tragedy in our friend group recently. So there was also like I feel like I should
Don't
be
be hard
there,
on yourself.
trying
Yeah.
to play Ticket to Ride over and over and over again. So that's been my day. And then one of our friends said that he would just like an excuse to go to the mailbox every day. So I wrote him Civil War bride letters.
Oh my God.
It's literally burnt notebook paper that I just found an image of parchment paper and just printed it on the damn notebook paper.
That's
Yeah,
adorable.
and since I wrote in cursive as is proper, it took me like 4 hours to write them because
Wow.
not anymore. I had
That
like
is
already drafted it, so I didn't mess it up. So like I'm copying it from the computer. Yeah, it was a whole thing.
Civil War love letters. I was about to make Ticket to Ride our word prompt, but no longer. Now it is Civil War love letters.
Perfect.
Because that is amazing, and that is commitment. I'm
That
not
is
allowed to go to my mailbox.
a joke to like the unnecessary end.
Yeah, no, that's very, very impressive. And hello to all of you who have joined us. Thanks for being here. Yeah. Oh, so see, now here's the thing. You could have committed more, Chloe.
No, okay, but here's the thing though, is that means that I would have to see him directly, and then that's not social distancing. Also,
Fair
it
enough.
means that I would have to ride a horse, and as I believe has been well chronicled in WordStitch, I am scared of horses.
No, I don't believe we have chronicled that. So next time we're going to talk about that because we don't have another subject. But right now, let's do our first writing sprint.
Yeah. We're gonna write for 10 minutes as a warm up, and we'll see you guys at quarter after.
Okay. How'd you do?
Hold on. 347.
Nice. I've no idea my word count because I'm still revising, but I feel good about like the paragraph that I revised.
I mean, I feel like when you're revising, then it's all emotions. That's all you've got. Does this feel good? Did this bring you joy? I guess is the phrase that we use now for that.
You know, a funny thing for my story, like so I got back the cover for this from my cover designer, and I think that might be part of why I'm so excited about it right now. Like, it's my villain story, and
did she fix it?
Yeah, it looks it's pretty awesome, actually. Or at least it's far more like.
You sent me the revision, not the revision, but you sent me the replacement for Slutty McSlut.
Yeah, if I can, I'll pull it up. This is the villain story, right? So, like, initially, the cover designer, like, it's my fault. I told her I wanted Pretty Little Liars meets Darth Vader, and I got
Slutty McSlut.
She was, well, I mean, that is what Darth Vader meets Pretty Little Liars would be. It's my fault, right? But I had to write back and be like, well, I sort of meant like a more polished kind of thing. So then my cover designer actually had a friend who built like a custom body. Like, she was like excited about the concept. So that like the cover is now a custom body with like a blonde head that I basically found because I got obsessed about the whole thing. And I totally love it. I'm going to try to find the proof for you if I can. She's definitely Pretty Little Liars meets Darth Vader, but the lightsaber has been removed from the.
There was also a lightsaber. Yeah, there was a lot of confusing with that. Yeah,
there was some confusing. Yeah. But here, let me show you because I'm like so excited about this. There it is. Does she look kind of like scary badass Darth Vader?
Here we go. Oh yeah, I like that.
Like it. What?
Oh no, it just took a while. The reason it took me so long to say that was that like when it popped up on your screen, it was still like 5 seconds from popping up on my screen. So there wasn't like a huge hesitation, like it seemed like there was on your end.
Got it.
Yes, I like that way better. I still think that there's a weird weight issue, but that's just me and caring too much about physics, I think.
Like a weird issue where? In the neck?
Oh, it's her. So there's another, for the people who are listening to us, this was like, it was completely redone to this. And in the original version of this one, she was holding a very large sword / lightsaber / gigantic weapon. And so because of that, like that stance that she has there, like it's too much for the weapon that she's holding. That weapon that she's holding, there's no reason you would have to have that posture unless you were like holding a trumpet for marching band, I'm gonna say. Like, you don't need it. And the thing is that like if her head was more upright, like I like the tilt of her head. But if her head was like, if she had that like military straight body position, then you could also write it off for that. But as it is, it's just like, if you stop and think about it, it's clear that it was a model who was meant to hold something much heavier than that. But
a lightsaber. Yeah.
Right. God knows what. But I really like, that is absolutely like nitpicking beyond belief. And I don't think it's something that is a concern at all when we're talking about book covers.
Yeah, no. And to answer her best, is this YA? Yes, this is definitely YA. But could that be something other than YA? I don't think so. Maybe like new adult. Maybe.
I mean, now again with all of this like weird how YA is also kind of porn now. Like it can absolutely be an Academy reverse harem, because that is the weird I don't
thing.
I don't understand that weird area of paranormal romance that's happening, but they absolutely have YA covers. So it's more that they have YA covers, and therefore this could be that. But I would say it's definitely a YA cover.
So this one was really interesting though too. Like I love this cover designer. I think she's fantastic. And I would never come up with what she comes up with. Like it just doesn't occur to me. I wouldn't come up with the outfits. I would never show up wearing a tutu anywhere.
Good on her backgrounds too. That was not her strongest background, but the other covers that she's done for Sandy have had really strong backgrounds on them.
Yeah. And I mean, in fairness, she's doing this in a pandemic, right? So like she's got kids that she's like, got at home to deal with. So
I just feel like if I'm touting her backgrounds, that I should make it clear that this was definitely not her strongest background.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, this was a weird one because it was the one where I had the most developed idea in my head of what the character should look like. And then I was like describing something kind of odd. So I feel like with cover designers, like you sort of have to acknowledge that part of their role is to give you something that your genre will be okay with, and that you are not actually like, yes, you want it to kind of match the story, but it's far more important that you listen to your cover designer's ideas about what you should do. So I'm happy with this. But yeah, like a few of the things like the lightsaber, I like, so in fairness, the designer did offer to just let like the character cross her arms or something. Like she said, well, maybe we could change that. And I was the one who was like, nah, I think like, she's a villain. We should give her a weapon. And the character is actually kind of interesting because she sort of hunches a little, like her initial persona would have hunched. So I was okay with that. But yeah, I agree with you. It's weird a little bit. But I think it's good for the whole thing. And now I have inspiration, right? So like now I gotta get it out there because I want people to see the cover. Although I don't have like the final versions yet. So there is that. We were gonna talk about your fear of horses. Do you want to talk about what you wrote instead, or?
No, and like we've only got 2 minutes left before the next sprint. So my fear of horses is real fast.
Okay.
They kick and they bite. And they've got gigantic teeth, and they've got extremely strong, hard feet.
Extremely strong what?
Hard feet. Their feet are hooves.
Did you get kicked by a horse at some point?
Okay, I know friends who have. And I've gotten close enough to horses that I'm like, I don't want to go anywhere near that thing. It's gigantic. And I'm pretty sure it could kill me if it wanted to. Like, and it wouldn't even be killing me because it was hungry, like a carnivore would. It would just kill me because it was pissed. And I have had a run-in with a bull, which of course is a very different, but also not a carnivore, but they will fucking kill you. So yeah, I don't like horses, and they smell bad.
I'm allergic, but I would otherwise have totally been one of those girls who wanted a pony, like if I didn't swell up around them and like start sneezing like crazy, I would have so wanted a horse. But I can be on your side and also like horses, or they're a problem in some way. Hey, are you still working on Hazel, by the way, before we get back into our
Hazel? Absolutely.
And how far along is Hazel?
I'm at 29,000 words.
Okay, so like a third there.
Well, like I'm also kind of missing an entire subplot that I haven't actually figured out how to do yet. That I can easily like ram into it, but like I have no idea how to do it yet. So I'm just writing everything else, and then we'll go back to that. Like I'm putting little like bits and pieces in that I can, but like actually how to write it, I have no idea what I'm doing. So
I bet it will come to you. But for now, let's.
No, it's something where like I'm gonna have to research a whole bunch of stuff that I literally have no idea, and probably have to like go to the community for advice on, just because I don't even know where to start on it. Yeah. Okay. So we are ready for 25 minutes on this sprint. And that will take us to 10 of So let's go ahead and start, and good luck to everybody.
Okay. So I got fairly far into a scene right there, and I feel pretty good about it. What about you?
I got super sleepy, and I got 6:49, but it was real bad, and so I kind of gave up at the end and just drank more coffee.
I'm glad that you got your coffee in. I'm sorry.
It happens.
Words. Yeah.
It happens. I haven't been sleeping well lately, and that's okay. It is what it is.
Well, I mean, there's like a lot of stuff going on, right? I don't know if, you know, if you're not sleeping well, I think this is like a general blanket statement for like everybody. If you're not sleeping well right now, you're not abnormal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Malcolm got irritated with me the other day because I like had my cell phone with me in bed. I was like playing a puzzle because this is what I do to fall asleep these days. Like I have a Sudoku or a crossword or a jigsaw puzzle because I'm old apparently, and also like.
But that's just a normal thing to do.
It's totally normal. It shuts my brain down. And he was like, this is terrible. Like this is a terrible habit. You're never gonna fall asleep. Screen time like that is awful. He is right, but I resented it anyway because like, seriously, everybody's having a hard time sleeping. Ooh, wow. We have some people who got some really good words that one. So Leora Sophie got 649 words. Nice. Herb 657. Excellent. Sarah 374 and at her word count. And Devin also doesn't remember what sleep is. So
I have a bunch of days coming off. I have a bunch of days off coming up soon, and I'm hoping that I can just sleep for a few days.
Yes. Yeah. And not have to worry about getting the coronavirus while you're,
also that. And just hoping that I don't come down with the coronavirus during that time frame.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. That would be terrible.
Yeah.
Are things still like have they improved at all where you are?
It's so hard to tell because it's all scattered. I don't like Georgia was a really slow. We have not had like a major crisis in Georgia. In Atlanta, excuse me. Let me clarify. Athens. I don't know what the hell happened in or not Athens. Down south. I can't think of Rome. I think it was Rome. We had like a couple of like rural areas that just got completely wiped out. I know a few of them were from churches. I don't know what happened in Rome. Albany. Thank you, Sarah. It was absolutely Albany. There are too many names here that are also the names of places in New York and other places, and I get real confused sometimes. Anyways, Atlanta's actually doing really well. But I don't know where that is going to go.
Oh, and it's like hard to even think about that, right? Like North Carolina is doing pretty well generally, but like every time I say that, I'm thinking, is that because we're actually doing well, or is that just like it just hasn't hit us yet? You know what I mean?
Right. And that's also my fear because, everything is certainly happening in a very staggered way.
Yeah.
So who knows?
Yeah. So we should like, hey Haley, thanks for joining us. I feel like we should brainstorm topics for next time. Like we have a fairly large group of people. Maybe it would be a good idea to think about like what sorts of things would be useful for break topics so that we aren't depressing people with talk of evil horror.
We were good for a couple of weeks. I don't think we talked about the Rona for a while there. Now here we are again.
This is because I was on the phone last night with my brother and his wife, and they're both doctors and they're like in it all of the time. Like they both work in hospitals. So I had like an hour and a half of like coronavirus, COVID-19, and they're very, smart and they know lots of things. And so they're terrifying. basically.
Yeah.
And I now that's what I can think of. But yeah, we should have other topics so that we don't just terrify people.
So we could stop doing this thing that we do, that the entire world is doing.
Yeah, no, but that's hard, isn't it? Like I have at least one writer group where like I just can't attend right this second because I can't spend like an hour thinking about negative news. I need to like hear like this is useful because I know that in like 4 minutes we are for sure gonna start.
Right. We're not gonna go down that rabbit hole because we can't go far enough into the rabbit hole to really get anywhere.
Yeah. Right, exactly.
I've already exhausted all of my reasons for hating horses for today.
We totally exhausted that, yeah. But I'm otherwise, I don't know. Like I'm not dying to go to book club this week. I like what if they want to talk about the Zoom book club? But what if they want to talk about coronavirus? that'd be terrible.
Are they doing like Zoom meetings like everybody else is doing these days? Is that?
Yeah, which was fine for book club. I will tell you, my extended family had a Zoom call yesterday. Oh my gosh. There were like 43 people.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, I feel like as soon as you said extended, it was a disaster.
It was so like it was bad timing for me. Like it was literally right when we were doing dinner. And I called in thinking like, oh, it's like a big group meeting and like, I can kind of like pop in and pop out. No, like because it was family, they all knew when I showed up and knew if I was muted and were very concerned that like I may not have known I was muted. And like it was this kind of thing. Yeah. So family, if you're watching, I was muting on purpose for your own good.
I feel like especially older family members probably wouldn't understand that actually you do this sort of thing every week on Mondays. So yes, you are fully aware of what you're doing and know how to handle the technology.
Yeah. No, it was actually really funny. And I mean, I think there were like 17, it was like 43 people and like 17 actual phone calls. And that's just a lot. So it was, yeah, I don't know.
I had a lot of friends like getting drunk on Zoom this weekend. I was working on those days and also I don't drink. And actually like the social thing isn't bothering me because I don't like being social anyway. So I have not gotten drunk on Zoom yet, but that I had several friends complaining about their hangovers from Zoom parties.
Oh my gosh, that's the craziest way to get hungover. We should talk about a house party. That's a thing. We could talk about that next time. But for now, maybe we should get ourselves set up for next thing. Yeah, let's do that writing.
So we are doing 30 minutes this time. That'll be a 1K 30 minute. If you are more awake than I am, I'm just going to get as many words as I can, and it's probably not going to be pretty, but that's okay. But we are starting now, and we will be going until about 1/2 the hour. Good luck, everybody.
Okay, now we're back. Sorry, I had to do like a computer swap right there, and now I'm dealing with my laptop computer, which has a very weird camera angle.
Also, sorry everybody for that horrible face that I made. I have resting scared face. I didn't mean to look horrified by everything around me. I just didn't know what was going on, and I over emote. Haley, I hope you are doing okay with your sliced finger.
Yeah.
I don't know what's been wrong with me for the last week, but like all last week before Easter, I think I actually did okay today. But every single day last week that I worked, I came home with more slices on my fingers, and I had no idea, or like on my hands in general, and I had no idea where they were coming from. And a couple of them are like whole bits of skin taken out. Like nothing, it wasn't anything that bled, but it was like a divot in my finger. No idea how I did any of this. I cut my palm. I don't know. I know I cut one of my fingers open pretty badly on a box of brownies. At your grocery store, all of those plastic containers that stuff in your bakery comes in, it turns out those things are razor sharp. And we do cut ourselves frequently on them, but this was like a gouge and it was pretty bad.
Those are terrible. Like box paper cuts? Ugh.
Yeah, and like for some reason the pie containers, like when you go to get, when we make pies, we're making like 30 pies, so we're grabbing whole stacks of these pies, and you'll end up with these like, it'll look like an animal attacked you because you have these like 5 matching slices on your arm because that's a whole thing. Cake decorating is extremely hazardous, is what I'm saying, and I deserve hazard pay for it. And also for the Rona, of course. How did you do in that sprint?
Mine was all messy because I like had this whole computer swap thing. So like I got a few paragraphs done, but for a 30-minute, I'm a little disappointed. Hopefully everybody else did much better.
Cortana thought I was talking to her, and so I missed what you said because she muted you. Do I need to know what you said?
Nah, it wasn't all that impressive.
Okay. I'll accept that. I kind of, like 5 minutes into that sprint, I decided to take a mulligan on the day. But then I sat down and I did get a little bit more done after like I wandered off and like read a bit of a book and dicked around on Facebook for a couple of minutes, and I ended up with 490.
That's good.
So okay, because I like didn't do anything. So, it's just one of those days. And I'm just I'm just gonna accept that I've got a bunch of writing days come up and not push myself.
Oh, Destiny and Sarah did things that are making me feel like I should be doing other stuff. Like Destiny moved on to Pinterest, which I would like to procrastinate with. Pinterest is great procrastination. And Sarah is making naan-dough. How do you make naan-dough?
I don't think Destiny was procrastinating. I think she was doing a Pinterest board for her
She might have been fine, but if I were doing it.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, I thought you were saying that she was procrastinating, but if she's working on a new project, like that all sounds like procrastination to me because I don't do that sort of thing, but I do know that some people consider it a really good resource.
It is.
I'm definitely not judging. It might have been a time suck, but I'm gonna give her the benefit of the doubt on that. And naan dough is very similar to pita dough, isn't it?
I don't know. I've never made pita
unleavened bread, and I feel like all unleavened breads are roughly the same, and it's just how you bake them.
Wait, unleavened bread, does it require yeast, or by definition is that
unleavened? I believe it's literally like flour and water, but I've never made either of them.
Oh.
I don't understand how this is an epiphany for you, Sandy.
No, apparently
What's
it does
going
require
on?
yeast. I'm thinking about this because I have no yeast in the house, right? Like yeast is sold out everywhere. But like if something does not require yeast, then I'm trying to learn how to make it. So
Oh, okay. So naan is not anything like pita when it's actually made. Oh, that's neat. I didn't know. I always assumed that they were basically the same. Thank you, Sarah. I've never tried. We buy pre-made naan at Aldi. Yeah, I also. It's funny that you mentioned the yeast because I had no idea that we were in a flour crisis.
we are.
Like a week ago, we just always have, we're those people who just always have like 5 bags of flour because we forget that we have flour or whatever. So it's not something that's even crossed my mind. And I usually have packets of yeast. We just did a pantry clean and I found some, in fact. Yeah, Haley, we make like flatbread pizza with naan. And we do also we do cook a lot of Indian, but normally I feel like we just end up using the naan to make flatbread pizzas. We tell ourselves to make regular pizza because, as I've mentioned multiple times already today, I work in a bakery. It's easy for me to get no, but yeah, it's naan pizza is kind of a we have screwed up and need something in a pinch, which happens regularly.
I like naan pizza. I like pizza with pita as well. But so I just looked it up. Apparently, pita bread also requires yeast.
Oh,
so yeah.
That they just don't. You don't let them rise? Is that?
I don't know. I've never tried either. I mean, my bread making has come with the pandemic, right? And I this whole slew of.
Oh, so that's why you were making sourdough.
Yes, sourdough does not require yeast.
Apparently, everybody's been wanting to make bagels now too. Bagels are really hard to make, and I don't recommend making bagels if you've never gone into that field.
Yeah, but I mean, most people don't recommend making sourdough, right? So, really, you're not going to convince anybody who's going to go try to make a bagel not to make a bagel. This is why there is like a little bit of a flour shortage, right? Because like people went out and bought flour so they can make
100%.
Their kids.
That's 100% why there's a flour shortage. And meanwhile, we were out buying box mixes because none of our lives have changed any in this house. And I was like, but we're all more stressed. So why don't we have box mixes? And in fact, I grabbed one and Ken was like, do we really need another vanilla cake mix? And I said, well, what if there's like a day where you really want a Lamington and there's no yellow cake? What are you going to do? And he was like, all right, get the yellow cake.
Wait, okay. What is beer bread? This is a suggestion from Haley. Does beer bread not require yeast? Is the beer the yeast?
The beer the yeast?
I'm currently looking up a recipe.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so Destiny is absolutely using Pinterest in a practical way.
I had no doubt about that. I do not concern myself about whether other people are being productive.
Right. Well, and if she hadn't been, that would have been fine too. It's just like I could absolutely see myself being like, I'm going to make a Pinterest board. And like, I know the entire time that I will never use this thing. I don't like Haley's allegedly. But yeah, so for my alternative to Pinterest is I will occasionally use The Sims to actually get visuals. But honestly, I don't know, the way I write, I'm not, this probably doesn't speak well of me as a writer, but I really don't describe things that much.
That's not true. You describe all kinds of things.
Yeah, but like I feel like I never have to like worry about if I described it differently in chapter 5 than I did in chapter 11 because I will literally never describe anything twice. in a meaningful way, unless like it is that one overriding characteristic. Or like right now at the very beginning of Hazel, she goes on a rant about how everything about Metal, the guy that she's going to end up with, is oatmeal. So I can refer to his oatmeal hair and his oatmeal eyes over and over again, without worry that I am going to get it wrong, and also pushing that oatmeal-esque quality about him.
Wait, she thinks he's hot, right?
I mean, yes, but in an irritatingly oatmeal way. She also hates him at the beginning because he's kind of kidnapped her, remember?
I thought he imprisoned her.
Well, yeah, kidnapping, imprisonment. I guess it depends on whose perspective you're coming from.
Totally. It depends on what side of the war you're on. Yes, that is right. So
yeah.
I do use Pinterest the way that Destiny uses it to like especially for wardrobe. I think wardrobe is a really good thing for Pinterest, and also stuff like how you're going to describe their hair. But for me, if I were trying to write and then I decided to do Pinterest, I'd be like inspired for 5 minutes, and then I would start looking up like crafts. It would be like, all right, this is what they wear here, and also maybe I should make my own standing desk out of a file cabinet and some Mod Podge. Or like the other day, I
don't ever make anything practical with Mod Podge.
No, okay, but
you can practical things with Mod Podge all you want, but Mod Podge has no practical application.
I totally agree, and yet I love Mod Podge. And this stuff happens to me. Like the other day on Pinterest, I don't know what I was on there for, but I ended up leaving my Pinterest session and like digging up a old blow dryer and melting crayons onto canvas. Okay, these things happen to me, and
I mean,
so
everybody's been having. I told you I was writing Civil War letters yesterday. I made fake parchment paper. I had to ask Ken if we actually had a working fire smoke detector. We don't, which is good because I was burning paper in the house. I don't know if we've even got. I feel like we had a smoke detector in the house when we first bought it, and then he flipped it over and realized that there was never even a battery put into it, and we were like, let's just throw it out.
Oh,
we live on the edge. We are 2 adults and no children. We don't need a smoke detector.
Who needs a smoke detector? What requires that? Are there codes or something?
This is how we go. This is how we go.
Yes, this is like the worst camera angle ever. I have got to fix this for next time. We need to get to our last writing session, and I feel like that might be a good stopping point.
Yeah.
Also, I do not have a word prompt for this because I cannot hold my computer up and type. So we're just screwed. Sorry, guys.
So sorry, our entire program was just shenanigans today, but that's okay.
It wasn't entirely shenanigans. We got all our writing done.
I did not get all of my writing done.
But we got the sessions in. That's the critical point.
Yes, we made sure that everybody who actually truly wanted to get writing done did get their writing done. And hopefully Haley is getting all of that writing she is behind done, and not sidetracked by our conversation about what the hell is unleavened bread if it contains yeast and rice.
See how easy it is for me to destroy my productivity with procrastination? It is so simple.
Yeah. Okay, let's write
this. Yeah.
Right. Sorry, guys. We are going to write for 10 minutes this time, and it is 44 past, so it's going to be 54 past when we are done. Please write and don't go unless you are actually using Pinterest for real things. We'll see you in 10 minutes.
Don't be Sandy. Okay, we are back.
Oops. I actually got a little bit of writing in that time.
I did too.
Yeah. Also, Herb, I'm sorry that work called you. I've been hearing a lot of horror stories about how work is just not working out real well for everybody who's doing the work from home and all of that. So sorry you got stuck on a real long phone call and lost a bunch of writing time.
Yeah, that sucks. But you could do the replay.
You could watch this disaster all over again.
You always think these were disasters, and I always think they went just fine. It's
Well, I mean, there were definitely technical disasters that did not go fine. Not today, but in general.
There have been. Yeah, there have been. Those have existed. There have been one or two times when I just failed to record something. Thank God.
Disasters.
Yes, thank God for StreamYard, which has resolved most of our technical glitches.
Yeah. I've been happy with StreamYard.
Seriously, this is fantastic. I actually used this for like a live stream update to my my writer Facebook page the other day. It was like super easy.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. You can like use this to live stream to Facebook. I didn't use the WordStitch. I used like mine. But so you can like basically if you have a Gmail, you could live stream to like your YouTube, your Facebook. It's incredible. I'm in love.
Herb, that is fantastic that you did over twice your word count or your goal. I'm actually within 200 of my daily count, which again, since I kind of gave up for quite a while of today, I'm proud that I might actually be able to hit my word count today. I was not expecting to, but maybe I will. Oh, and Sarah did really well too. It's surprising what you can get in 10 minutes. Like I feel like I have no idea ever what I'm going to get in a 10-minute sprint. Just because it's a weird chunk of time. And sometimes like I just kind of am reading through things and never really get any words. But sometimes they just all pop out all at once. Yeah.
Well, okay. So shall we call it a day?
I think so. I think we did good today.
Yeah, there you go. We did good today.
Oh, no, I mean like with words. I feel like we were on drunken rambles, which I will take partial responsibility for, definitely. Because, again, I'm very sleepy right now.
Fine.
Yeah.
It's okay. Okay, folks. So thank you for joining us. And we'll be back. Oh, I have a banner for this. We'll be back next week from 4 to 6 again. And happy writing in the meanwhile.
Yeah. Good luck, everybody. If you're doing camp, I hope you're getting all of your words or your editing done. And we'll see you next week.
All right. Bye.
Bye.